Hey, it's Gary Turchin. I want to read you a chapter from my upcoming memoir, The Unfathomable Sea. It's the part of the journey where I moved to California. 1974, the end of. And this chapter is called In at the Cross. My traveling companion, Peter Morrison, wasn't moving west like I was, just looking to visit. He was friends with my cousin Jeff, who hooked us up for this trip. We were an odd pair. Peter was bully, ready for Eddie, glass half full. I was in a deep, dark, dank funk. Couldn't even see the glass. It was winter, and we took the northern route, which turned it into a slog. We stopped any place he or I had a friend to crash. Rochester, Toronto, Detroit, Chicago, or wherever the weather forced us off the road, which was frequent. When we got to Denver, he pulled into his brother's corral while I headed up the mountain to Vail to see an old friend, John Hennell, who was tending bar and ski bumming. Alone, I climbed the mountain in my bright orange VW Squareback, up and up and up till I found Vail, an uppity little la-la land amongst clouds and snow. It was idyllic if you were blonde and rich, had time on your hands, and knew how to ski. For the rest of us, good luck. Which my luck wasn't. John shared a postage stamp of an apartment with a quasi-girlfriend and a young man who worked as a dishwasher at the Holiday Inn. On my first full day, John also introduced me to a guy I could buy a lit of pot from, which I happily did. Peace pipe time for me. Next morning, sitting at the table in the tiny apartment, its residents all gone about their day, lit o' pot openly displayed in front of me, the door was knocked. I didn't have to stand up to open it. The quarters were that tight. I just extended my left arm, what had I to fear, and pulled the door open, and lo, look who's here. 4 uniformed, belt bulging, badge blazing, cowboy hatted, Vail, Colorado police officers and the city's district attorney, who then invite themselves in. That's 5 sworn officers of the law, probably most of the city's force, plus me, now powwowing in John's little teepee. They just about had to stand on top of each other, all cozy with the law. We were now. My first thought was, narc! I bought the lid from a narc. John didn't know. But no, this story isn't going that way. It's taking a left-handed smoke shifter turn toward the I can't believe this is happening sweepstakes. You see, Mr. Vail, D.A., pulls out some paperwork, explains it is a search warrant, which he then commences to read to a captive and captivated audience of 1, me. The document described with clear and precise language the colors and rings and insignia that were imprinted on, get this, dishes that belonged to the local Holiday Inn or did so before they were so rudely absconded. Holiday Inn dishes. They're looking for Holiday Inn dishes, and I'm about to have a holiday in hell. I can smell the burn. You might be thinking, as I did, that they could just about knock on the door of any one of these compressed little efficiency units that they lease out to seasonal help and find an assortment of Holiday Inn dishware, towels, shower caps, soaps, etc., etc. Isn't that what they're there for? The taking? Yet somehow for these particular dishes, they've managed to acquire a search warrant and to call up the National Guard here, who so far have ignored my baggy prop on the table and have set about their dish search with the fervor of intoxicated men hunting for loose women, picking up every little dish, every fork, spoon, knife, pot, and pan in the place, hoping to get lucky, checking it out for promising signals that, yes, I'll dance with you. I'll tango with your crime-solving lust. I'll suck your juicy mortals with my Holiday Inn smile. But no, these cops were shot down, one plate, spoon, fork, knife at a time. Even after scouring closets and shelves, they had no promises of dance, no stolen kisses or stolen dishes to claim as prize. No, they came up empty. Not that it kept them from confiscating a few utensils anyway, ones that had no markings whatsoever, because these are men, and men take things, and men have to be right. And the scofflaw dishes? Surely they must have escaped out the back windows when they saw the cops a-coming. Ah, but we're here now, aren't we? And there's this other business. We haven't spoken of it yet, and even if we wanted to ignore it, we can't. This is the DA here, and two of these cops are rookies. First month on the job, we'll be told soon enough. And this guy here, swarthy, ethnic, not one of us anyway. So let's forge ahead. Let's be men, men of law, righteous men. And now it's, and what about this? Their first mention of my little piece of mind baggie. And to whom does it belong? And yes, I say, yes, I am to whom it belongs. It is mine. I am Spartacus. This is my bag of trouble, sir, lest anyone else get dragged into this fiendish plot against the state with me. And before you can say, "You're under arrest, partner," I, the criminal in question, was under arrest and read my Mirandas and driven down to headquarters in their brand new Saab 99 police cars. Oh, how the dishy little ladies would have loved riding in these Euro models with these hunka big, bad, brave men, protector of dishes, defenders of dishwares. But it is I, instead. I, who was now to be booked, fingerprinted, photographed like a common criminal, and charged with possession thereof. I wasn't even allowed to use the lavatory alone, lest I do something drastic, like hang myself or wet my pants. Then, it being a law-driven, principled country, I was spared the electric chair, the life sentence, the 20 years hard labor, and was allowed instead to post my own bail, $200, traveler's checks, sign right here, sir, half of all I had in the world. And I was released on my own recognizance, though I hardly recognized myself, this wayward criminal I had become, and was told to be in court in the morning. Don't leave town, partner. You have a date with the judge. Back with John at his little inefficiency unit, the story would come out in knee-slapping, backstabbing humor. You see, there was this bartender, a bartender at the Holiday Inn, in fact, who fashioned himself a man of strong faith. A Jesus freak, we used to say, and he thought it was his righteous duty to accuse, rightly or wrongly, John's dishwashing roommate of heisting 24 missing dishes. And our cowboy cops found enough cause to procure said search warrant based on this righteous man's truth, even if it wasn't true. And I was now paying the price for his righteously wrong efforts, like being crucified and not even being the Christ, or Spartacus for that matter, but paying for their sins, $200 worth of them, and the humiliation too. The next morning, in court, the Eagle County, Colorado judge asked Mr. Vail, D.A. Incorporated, how he got the search warrant. D.A. mentioned another judge's name. Well, I wouldn't have signed this one, Judge declared, right in front of alleged criminal. And where was my attorney when I needed one? I had waved, as in waved goodbye to those rights, so I could make this quick and simple and fast. So there was no defender now to grab the flag and raise it high and scream, "What kind of cockamamie search warrant is this, Your Honor? Dishes from a Holiday Inn? Are you serious? On what evidence is it based? And is this all they have to do around here? Isn't our great and good new president, Gerald R. Ford, coming next week for a family ski trip? Shouldn't these esteemed men of law, protectors of public safety, progenitors of truth, justice, and the American way, shouldn't they be planning for his safety? Why are they wasting time on these damnable dishes?" No, there was no one to make that case. And instead I made a plea on my own behalf. They say the meek shall inherit. So I played meek. I was an Eagle Scout, Your Honor. A little white lie. I only had 20 merit badges, and it took 21 to make you an Eagle. And I was sorry for what I did and all, and I would do better going forward. I've learned my lesson. And then I pleaded guilty as charged, and was fined exactly $200. Just keep my bail is how the math worked. And so I accepted my guilt, my fine, my fate, and decided enough was enough. In the roulette wheel of life, I just crapped out, or if you will, while at the geological height of my journey, I'd hit rock bottom. That sounds like some kind of symbol for something, though I didn't know for what, or how to interpret it, or what system of symbolic language to even refer it to. Instead, I headed back to Denver to pick Peter up. Pick up Peter, and said, I ain't fucking around no more. I need to get to California. And he got in, shotgun side, and we horse-powered up, drove almost without stopping, back up the mountain and down its other side, then through the astounding basin that God gave the Mormon people. Bless them for it. Holy, holy land it surely is. And then up the Sierra, the soulful Sierra, Muir country. Now there was a man of the cloth. And down its other side, into the great green valley, like the one Steinbeck evokes with perfect pitch, another genuinely spiritual man. The air springy and warm, the valley ripe and green and lush, and into this fertility, this fecund land, I drove to make a life, to plant the seed of my life, to grow the orchard of my art, to start my life, in earnest. Chapter: West, young man, west. Peter and I arrived in California on Christmas Eve, 1974. We headed to my brother's commune in Guerneville, 75 miles north of San Francisco. We took Highway 101 north and then a small highway, 116 east toward the coast. After 5 or 6 miles, we realized, no. The coast was to the west here. That's why they called it the West, unlike the East, where the coast was eternally and always to the east. Suddenly, it was an inverse universe, and we'd have to realign ourselves on many levels. But that was why we'd moved here in the first place, wasn't it? That's from my upcoming memoir, The Unfathomable Sea, a journey into creativity. Thanks for listening. I'm Gary Turchin. Listen for future installments down the road. Thank you.